It happened, I'd say about 3 or 4 months ago when this big cowboy guy.
How big was he?
He's about 6'8". He got jumped by a bunch of punk rockers, so he said. And so he went back to his car, got a 9mm pistol, automatic pistol, came back and wanted to shoot a few punk rockers.
And you were going to draw on him, right?
Well, when he went down for the gun.
A draw. And you guys were going to draw on each other, like a Western shootout.
Well, he went down for the gun, and I just pulled my gun out and aimed it at him, and told him if he didn't get out of here and get away from his ankle, that was going to be the last time he ever walked.
And I guess the police conspired. I guess maybe they did it themselves. They like dressed their officers up as cowboys, and they like tried to trap punks into like trusting them by the the cowboy cops handing them beers. Want a beer? Be my friend. And then like if they pull out something, if they're under 21 or they have a joint or something, they bust it. Just like that,
So what do you think of the cops?
They're okay guys, but they take it to a limit, a little too far. They're jerks.
They had to squeeze on that place, just because they just thought it was, I don't know what they thought, but they sure put the heat on me. They arrested me for walking across the street and took me down to jail that night.
So nothing's really changed. One of my best friends is a cop in Long Beach Police Department.
Oh, really?
Just cops are different people, just like you and me.
You can't trust them.
Opinions, yeah.
I wouldn't trust your best friend anymore.
They'll blow your head off.
They tried to get rid of me. Actually, that's why I sort of turned radical. I spent most of my time trying to placate them and make them happy and keep it under control. But once they tried to get rid of me, then I kind of let it go wild. And I really just wanted to shove punk rock right up their ass.
Pat Brown was, he was just in his car driving through the parking lot. This is like when the police were like catching you for any small thing that was going on. And Pat was just cruising, and he had a beer. He was just drinking a beer, looking for a parking place, whatever he was doing. And all of a sudden, this cowboy guy dressed as a cowboy, undercover police who I've been, I've had the pleasure of, seeing, and they've like searched me off the wall. They even offered beers and stuff, try to be our friends before they try to find out what we're doing wrong. One of them, like, Pat was driving just around, and, like, he stopped, but, Pat stopped, and it's like, cowboy-like looking dude, Pat was ready to have the guy say, "You're a punk, I hate you," and Pat would have killed him, But he just, like, he goes, "I'm a policeman," just like that, and then Pat just, like, he, like, reached in his car, and, like, I guess he tried to turn off his car, or tried to, I don't know, choke him, or who knows what the cop was going to do to him, but, like, Pat just, like, punched, if you're in a car, jet too.
Tried to run the cops down, Pat Brown, driving into the ground, Pat Brown, tried to run the cops down, Pat Brown, driving into the ground, Patrick, Edward Brown, tried to run the cops down, well, Patrick, Edward Brown, tried to run the motherfucker
his piece. The cop got his piece and starts firing and past car, like put 3 slugs like right up by the windshield into his, like the front fender of his car. It was intense. I think that was like one of the things that like closed down the club.
I heard some stories about you too, but you don't want to go into that.
I'm a nice person.
Shooting and everybody was like the riot squad came out, and I was,
And it was, I mean, they were ready to like literally take on the entire audience. They had 25 cars there, and they were all lined up outside, in full force. And they were like they had the 2 cops in 2 formations outside so that they could come into the parking lot without being outflanked, right? And put a pincher on the audience that was, as they would come out of the club, right? And the people who were still in the parking lot. And they were ready to do that. They were ready to close the thing down and basically, physically take on the entire audience.
We had a Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court ordered the Costa Mesa Police to leave me alone. See what they did? They arrested everybody before they got to my place. Say, hey, we're not bound. Zubies fill up the parking lot. They don't park on the surface street. They arrested them before they got in my parking lot. And that's when I finally closed. I went, fuck. They arrest 90 kids. I had 90 kids paid, and they arrested 90.
It's because they didn't want the club to happen. They don't like punk rock. They don't want kids to do what they're doing for some reason. I mean, America land is a relatively free area. I mean, what is this?